So welcome everyone to our self-care and service practice in the love, peace, and harmony field. My name is Laurie, and I'm a co-owner with Satori Family Wellness Center that volunteers for these sessions that are sponsored by the Love, Peace, and Harmony Foundation. And before we start, we have a few of the spiritual courtesies on the screen. Most of you here live with me are familiar with these. And just as a reminder, though, although I am a psychologist in Hawaii by profession, the information I share is just for general knowledge and education, and hoping that you can find a way to complement any traditional healthcare services that you might do yourself. So with that said, let's go into our session for today. And we will do our usual check-in, as we know that develops self-awareness, which is key for growth and transformation. And today's practice, I wanted to build on what we were working on. We've been doing a lot of various micro practices, which are just short, easy practices that you can do throughout the day to help you get back in balance. And so today we will be doing self-trust, which will be following up on our self-forgiveness practice of last week. And we'll do this practice with the love, peace, and harmony field in a meditation, and then we'll talk about some next steps. So let's have you just check in, and if you can just notice, if you feel comfortable, you can close your eyes to get a better sense of where you are today, noticing your thoughts, your emotions, your bodily symptoms and sensations, whether it's pain or discomfort. And you can also do a reflection on your actions or behaviors during the past week. And in all of these categories, you can notice if they have been more on the positive, comfortable side, peaceful, happy, or things that need some support, need improvement, whether negative thoughts, stress, pain or fatigue, productive or unproductive behaviors. And we want to look at ourselves without judgment, but with kindness and compassion that allows us to be more honest with ourselves and allow us to go deeper to see what it is that we can work on, what it is that we're doing well that we can keep going with, and what it is that we really need to pay attention to make some change so we can continue to be in a healthy, balanced, state, a state of love, peace, and harmony. So you can give yourself a number. You can notice where in your body you might be feeling that. And throughout the session, I would like you to continue to pay attention to your body, your thoughts, your emotions, and see if it can shift. As we talk about one technique that can also help bring us into balance. And so this is of self-trust. Last week, we worked on self-forgiveness. So after self-forgiveness, really allowing us to let go of things that no longer serve us, like the additional guilt, grief, judgment. We can feel lighter, right? Forgiveness is about letting go, and we can feel lighter. And the next step that you can think about is to rebuild trust within ourselves. And even when I was creating this session today, I could really feel some areas that I haven't really thought about in terms of building trust with myself, that we might think about how we might want to build trust with others and how it's really important to also trust ourselves. So trust can grow from keeping these small promises and aligning our actions with our deeper values. So when we say we're going to do something, right, you might want to really be trustworthy to another person. Say, okay, I made that date to go out with that person to help them with that, and following through, right? That helps to develop trust with relationships. But noticing, do we do that with ourselves, with things that we say, okay, I'm going to do this? Do we actually follow through or do we not? So it gives you a chance to assess where you are. And again, we don't want to do it with judgment. We really want to do with compassion, right? Because we all have things that come up in our lives that we want to work on. But it's great to be really honest with yourself. So how can we do this? How to build self-trust? These are just a few things that, I found on a list with a psychology site. But it is, and these are things that we have been working on in some of our sessions before, and know that they're all going to help you build your self-trust. One is to listen to that inner voice, that higher wisdom that you may have. One is, as we talked about earlier, keeping small promises to yourself. So it's like, okay, I'm going to do this like for myself. Do you follow through, or do you kind of put your own needs aside or things that you're going to do? Do we practice compassionate self-talk, as we mentioned earlier, forgiving ourselves, and acting from our values, not from fear? So these are some of the things that we have talked about in previous sessions. We've had a session before a while ago about our values. So this is a time that we can reconnect with them. And as we align ourselves to our values, that can also build self-trust, because our thoughts, our words, our actions are all aligned to who we know we are, or what our values are, and who we know we can be. So, and why does this matter, right? So last week we did forgiveness, and forgiveness can kind of clear our heart, and trust can rebuild confidence, right? So if there is someone that you trust, think about it. We know that if they say they're going to do something, they're going to do it. It builds our confidence in them. And if we don't follow through, then we kind of, even though we like the person, we love the person, we may have some, oh, well, I don't know if they're actually going to do what they're going to do because, they don't follow through. So we want to actually depend on ourselves too, right? So self-trust anchors us to our choices in love instead of fear, right? So we stay in that space of knowingness. We don't have to doubt, like, oh, I don't know if they're going to follow through. I'm going to have a backup plan. And also for yourself as well, right? We want to stay in this more positive state. And we also want to strengthen our resilience and inner safety. So self-trust can build this, just like as others who follow through on what they do and their word, that will develop our sense of safety with that person. This is someone I can trust. They don't go and blab about my things. I can hold them in confidence, right? And it makes us feel safe. So we want to feel safe with ourselves as well, right? So the self-trust micro practice that I have today, there's different ones, but you can do it with me now, and we're going to redo it again in the field, the Love, Peace, Harmony field. So you can put one hand on your heart, one hand on your lower belly or lower abdomen, and just allow yourself to relax and connect. Many of you are very comfortable connecting soul, heart, mind, and body. We're going to inhale. Imagine the light that we're connecting ourselves with, this light, and our heart and our lower abdomen, our belly area feels connected. You can imagine this golden light ball in your lower abdomen, like we've done in a previous practice. Going to allow ourselves to ground, to feel connected with this light source within us. And you can think about your values. And with your values, think about an affirmation, okay, that you would like to have with yourself, that you can believe more and more. And that is the messaging that you are programming yourself, right? So it could be like, I want to be someone that listens to myself, follows through. So I can trust myself to listen. I can trust myself to grow. Some of our values is to continue moving forward, having a growth or higher growth mindset. It could be love, peace, and harmony. We want to be in love, peace, and harmony, right? So think about a value that you have for yourself. You can do it in terms of your self-care. What is it that you need? I'm so happy that all of you come in to these practices for self-care. We've been connecting self-care and service. And many of you here, I know, are wonderful servants that like to help others. You care about others, whether it's your family, your friends, community, and more. And so that could be a value, right? Wanting to serve others. And so you can say, I trust myself to serve others, but also that means serving myself, because as we know, self-care is service. So, and service can be self-care. And then we're going to just visualize this love, peace, and harmony light. We're going to do it in the field as well, connecting your heart, your abdominal area. And then we're going to choose a simple act of a self-care act that we can do today. Or if it's later in the evening for you, that you can start doing, before bed or tomorrow as you start the day tomorrow. Okay. So I'll give you more time to do this, but you can kind of get an idea of what we're going to do and think of something. And think about it. When would be a good time that you can use this practice? It could be when you doubt your ability to make the right decision. So a lot of things going on and you think, what should I do? This can kind of get you back to your heart, your center point, to kind of trust your inner wisdom. When you feel torn between fear and your inner wisdom. When you break a promise to yourself, like, okay, I was going to maybe exercise, but I didn't, right? And you want to realign yourself. Maybe you're feeling bad, or maybe you're being overly critical. You can use a self-trust practice. When you notice self-criticism after making a mistake, or you're feeling anxious about the future and need to kind of ground more. When you might be starting something new and you want to develop this inner confidence, okay, this greater sense of confidence, and you want to reconnect to your inner guidance before acting. So these are some ways so that you can use it. And we're going to do this again in the love, peace, and harmony field. So as we know, for those of you who have been here before, everything has its own vibratory field, and each of our vibrational fields are connected in the quantum field of the collective. So all of us today online working with self-care can help us be more successful in this practice. And when we align with the vibrations of love, peace, and harmony, we can not only uplift our lives, but we can support the uplifting of the world. So here we can dedicate that as we do this practice, we're also serving others to develop self-trust, okay? And we know that the love, peace, and harmony field can amplify. It has higher frequency vibrations, positive messages that can amplify this frequency and message of trust and self-trust. And trust becomes rooted in the vibrations of love, peace, and harmony. We can also make the connections. So love, peace, and harmony, connecting it with self-trust, can be a wonderful anchor to remind you of how to return back to self-trust, to return back to love, peace, and harmony. And as we do the micro practice, we can remember that each small step creates new pathways in confidence in soul, heart, mind, and body. It can also develop pathways, neural pathways as well, okay, as we do this practice. So let's go ahead and connect with the field. So first of all, I want you to reset yourself into a safe space. Many of you here are already comfortable with the love, peace, and harmony, calligraphy, and field. Some of you who may be new to this session, we like to create the safe space to really allow our bodies to go deeper into the rest and restorative space to kind of calm down our nervous system. And so every time you come in, every week, practicing our bodies, feeling more relaxed and calm. You can imagine yourself in a space, indoor or outdoor in nature. It is something that allows your body to start to relax. And think about it, it's a space, a safe space that you create in your mind that you trust, that is relaxing, is safe for you. Okay? And you can take a few breaths in. Imagine the light from the field through your nose going to your lower abdomen. Exhale. Love, peace, and harmony message. Inhale again, love, peace, and harmony. Go to your lower abdomen. Exhale. Imagine love, peace, and harmony expanding throughout your body. Again, inhale, love, peace, and harmony. Exhale, feel it connecting your heart center and your lower abdominal area where you have this golden ball of light rotating, feeling connected to your soul, heart, mind, and body. And now think about a value that you have. We can do it in terms of your self-care, right? What is it? What is a value? So it could be to be healthy, right? And okay, I trust myself to be healthy, to do healthy steps for myself. Or I trust myself to be calm and, take care of my self-care and service abilities. So I want you to think of your value. Just choose one for now. It can be related to self-care and knowing how you've been moving forward. So like for me, I've been having a lot of goals, the same goal all the time. And although I do some small steps, sometimes I don't feel like I'm doing enough, or I haven't really committed the time to pay attention to that goal or value. And it may have made me lose some self-trust that I'm actually going to follow through on the actions that I want to do. So allow yourself to, again, you can forgive yourself. And we're going to just have compassion because, we all do the best that we can. Life happens. But then we can use this moment to get back on track, to reestablish trust in ourselves. So you can also think about the times that you have been able to make some steps. Just being on this session today or watching the video today is a step in that right direction. So allow yourself to have that compassion, that grace. And now we're going to develop that trust and confidence in ourselves, okay? So again, think about your value, create your affirmation. Some of them are listed like I trust myself to listen. It could be listen to myself and take care of myself. I trust myself to grow, to take healthy steps, to be healthier and happier. I trust myself to choose love, peace, and harmony, to pay attention to my self-care and to serve others in this state of love, peace, and harmony. Okay? Just allow yourself to feel the love, peace, and harmony field. It's also supporting you in your intentions, okay? In your trust. And imagine that the love, peace, and harmony field is supporting you. Notice where in your body may have been affected as you were reflecting on your self-trust and what your hopes and goals are for yourself. Some of you may have been feeling discouraged or bad, or hopefully motivated, or whatever it is that you feel. If there is a block within your body, just notice it, where it is, how it feels like. You can visualize the color, shape of that blockage. And again, we're doing it without judgment, but we're doing it with compassion, with self-forgiveness, and now with trust that we can release that and we can move forward. So even thinking that, I trust myself to be able to be honest with myself, to reflect, to be able to take small steps. I trust myself to be kind to myself. Okay? And I trust myself to do this one simple act of self-care today or tomorrow, okay, if it's late at night. So think about one thing that you can do for yourself and think of it as a promise to yourself. Just as if you had a child, they always will say in parenting, you really want to keep your word to your children, right? Because that helps them develop trust. And if we really didn't have that in our lives, sometimes it might be missing. We have a hard time trusting others. And it's okay, right? But start with self-trust, because this is something that you have control over. We may not have had control over what others do, and we don't have control with others over what others do, but we do have control what we do. So this is our promise to ourselves. So just think about one thing that you can do for your self-care today. And as you think about it, visualize yourself completing the task. Notice you can be as specific as you can in terms of the day. I'm going to make sure I eat a healthy meal. I'm going to make sure I eat today, or rest earlier, or, do something that you wanted to do for yourself or a loved one that makes you happy, right? So imagine yourself doing it. Allow the picture to get clear so your mind is really, can visualize it. Okay. So many of you may know I had this goal of cleaning my house, right? To make myself feel better in my home. And it's been small steps, but still not as how I would like it to be. So I can okay, what is that one promise I can make to myself to keep my surroundings clear? Maybe even just straightening up my desk or throwing away extra things. So just one thing. It doesn't have to be really big, just a small self-care task. So you can go in different levels, like getting your sleep, your rest, drinking enough water. And just allow yourself to notice and now feel the field of love, peace, and harmony coming in, supporting you. Some of you are comfortable and know how to trace the calligraphy. With every stroke that you do with the calligraphy, imagine that you are receiving more positive information to help embed your goal, okay, your task, your promise to yourself, and feel that self-trust increasing. Okay. And you can just start with one day at a time, one promise at a time. And if you felt you broke it, right, the next day, start again. I will start again and make that commitment. So every day there's one promise that you did for yourself. Because you probably may have done one. So start small and then you can grow from there. Okay. And see yourself completing this task, feeling that your trust builds. So think about it. When you trust someone, how does it feel? You know, your body might relax. You might feel a good feeling, comfortable. You feel grateful. You feel safe. So allow yourself to get back to that safe space. So it could be even like, I'm going to practice going to my safe space to get my mind calm, to give myself a word, you know, a word of compassion. It could be a compassionate phrase. To forgive myself, I'm going to practice self-forgiveness. So it could be any of the things that we talked about before. Okay. And now we're going to breathe in from the field again to reinforce that we can do it. Bring it to our heart center. It goes down to our lower abdomen. Exhale, let that light expand throughout your body. Again, inhale, heart center to lower abdomen. You put one hand on your heart, one hand on your lower abdomen. Exhale, feel that light expand. Feel the confidence that you can do this one task, this one promise to yourself for your self-care. Inhale. Exhale, your body relaxes. Feel your confidence growing. And we can end by saying thank you, thank you, thank you. We thank the field. We thank all of you who has been on supporting each other. And we thank ourselves. And I just want to have you maybe check in to how people are doing. Any aha moments or any observations as we were doing this practice. So Gregory said, thank you for giving me the opportunity to trace and chant the Tao. Yeah, Tao is like the source. So whatever your belief system, you can, integrate it here. And yeah, anyone want to share how this was for you? I'd love to hear. You can either unmute or write it in the chat. Those watching this on video, you can write it in the comment section. Love to hear what you thought of this session today. And that's a wonderful way for of service that you can do. Helps me know if these are helpful, and I really do appreciate your insights. So maybe as we're waiting for people to write in, I would like to encourage you to continue on your wellness journey. What we did today is really try to consistently work on our self-care and service goal with that one small promise. And you can feel comfortable, follow up on resources on self-care topic. Dr. Master Shah, who is the founder of the Love, Peace, Harmony Foundation, as well as the Love, Peace, and Harmony, the creator of the Love, Peace, and Harmony Calligraphies, he has a book called Soul Wisdom. And although it may not talk specifically on self-trust, the trust issue, the confidence issue, and the wisdom behind trust can be found in there that can help you still apply that to your own, yourself. And I do want to encourage you, if you want more time in the field, first 3 Mondays of each month, we have our practice sessions with my mother, Annette. You can also see some of the past videos on our YouTube channel. We do have our free wellness evening with Tao Calligraphy. And this is the next level field that you can use to kind of support your intentions. Allow yourself to get more positive messages to help you. We'll be on 7 to 8 p.m. today. On Thursday. And we also have complimentary 15-minute sessions if you need more personalized support, because we do have a lot of offerings. We do share a lot of information. And if you want just a bit more clarity, we're happy to assist you. And we do have this QR code that can play the Love, Peace, and Harmony song. That is another way that creates this field through music to help bring in that love, peace, harmony message. And those of you who are moved to also donate, we can lead you to a donation site. So again, just really we say this every week, and I hope that it can go in deeper and deeper. Self-care is service. We increase our self-care to increase the quality of your service. And we can start again by making that small promise to yourself. So we'd love to hear if there's anyone else that wants to share anything. How are people feeling? People sometimes want to share their promises. That would be wonderful. It gives other people an idea of what they can do for themselves. Okay. And also, if you do have any feedback that you may want to share privately, we do have an eval and feedback form. And after you do that, you are entered in our lucky draw that we give you a complimentary gift, be a special service or registration for an event that we have upcoming. So please, every entry that you put in qualifies you, if you fill out the form for a couple of things that we have going on, you get your name in twice. So we do appreciate that service because we really do want to serve you better. So any feedback you give, whether it's things that you like us doing and we can do more of, or things that we can supplement or improve, would be so valuable. So thank you again, everyone. I want to say my goodbyes. So I will say bye to those who may be watching on Facebook live stream, Facebook Live, and those watching the video. Thank you.